Welcome back to Bougie Black Therapist Podcast. I'm your host, Montoya McGowan, licensed clinical social worker. This is a podcast where I initially started out helping to educate clinicians about entrepreneurship, and gratefully it has evolved into a conversation for entrepreneurs and mental wellness. And I'm grateful for this path because it has allowed me to connect with so many wonderful, awesome, wisdom-filled people. And my guest today is
Chiquita Smith-Sanders. I am the owner of Ombre Brows Memphis. I started out doing hair for 28 years, and then I transitioned into doing tattoo brows full time.
Yay. So I get a lot of compliments on my brows. And the last time I came to see you, I was like, you should come and be a guest. Because me and Brooke did a show, and you was like, both of y'all were up there. You looked great. My work looked great. And I said, we were up here advertising.
Absolutely.
And this is, whenever somebody asks me about my brows, I tell them this is one of the best investments I have ever made. Beauty investments I've ever made in life. And I have absolutely zero regrets about it. So I'm glad that you are in this business, and I'm glad that I found you so that you can, like, I just feel like I wake up already cute.
You do.
You know how people get braids and they're like, ooh, I feel good. I feel that way with these eyebrows because before I was just mostly forehead.
And then trying to camouflage the forehead by drawing it on yourself. And one day you get it good, but the next day it doesn't work out that way.
You know what? This ain't working.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you came around at the perfect time. And I was focusing on self-care as it related to how I feel about my image. And so I started locks, and around the same time you did my eyebrows. And so it's been a really pleasant journey.
Yes.
So today's topic is pivoting as an entrepreneur. I have some business cards from when I first started. And I remember I was so worried that the business cards needed to be perfect. And I had somebody tell me, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to get started. And now when I look back at the business card, instead of me thinking, girl, you had no idea what you were doing, I chose to feel proud of myself because I got started.
Right.
And what I'm doing now is beyond what I dreamed for myself.
Okay.
Like, I'm living beyond the things that I asked God for. And I couldn't see that until I got started.
Yes.
So thinking about your story, I met you when you were a hairstylist. Tell us about how did you shift from being a hairstylist to what you do now?
Okay, so like I said, I did hair for about 28 years, and it got boring. So living in Memphis, we are in like, and I hate to say it, but it's true. We're in a copycat city. So everybody is going to want the it hairstyle. So if it's a ponytail, you know, everybody's going to want that same ponytail, but they're going to make it a little different by making it a different color. And so I just decided to go ahead and just get out of it. Right? Because I got so bored of doing the same exact things for little to no money. And it got to the point where around Christmas time, Mother's Day, Easter, I would have to wait on everybody to decide they want to come and get their hair done before I went and shopped for my children.
Oh, wow.
So I would have to go into Walmart the day before Christmas and get my kids their stuff because I was broke all December. Because, you know, hair is a luxury. A lot of people don't have the money for it. Right. And so when they do, they come once a month. And if they don't have the money during that month, they're going to wait until they do have it after they've Christmas shopped for everybody. And so that's usually the week before Christmas when they come. That's when I made my money to go and shop for my kids. And so it got to a point where I was like, no, I got to do something else. This is too much. And so I prayed to get out of it. And I asked God, please retire me, but don't retire me for anything less than what I am used to making. And so I did it. We went into COVID, and my husband and I, we fast before any major transition.
Really?
Together. And so I would tell him, hey, I've asked God for something, but in order for us to get it and receive into our household, we're going to have to fast. So he'll let go of something that he wants to let go of, and I'll let go of something that I let go of. And we do that, a 7-day fast every transition. And so we did that. I prayed on it. I prayed on that. And then we fasted for a week. And I prayed for guidance. I prayed for God to, lead my journey, to tell me what I needed to do, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what it was going to be that I was going to transition into. And so 4 years ago, when we did the fast or whatever, I prayed and I was looking online, and God showed me the one of those brows. And so I looked, because I knew in my mind that I needed to do something and bring something to the city.
Yeah.
If you're a hot commodity and you are somebody that's doing one thing in the city, then you have the whole city on lock. And so once I looked at that, it was a new thing. And once I looked at it and I researched in the city and saw it was one girl doing it, and she was making a killing. And so I prayed, I fasted, we fasted, and I asked my family, both sides, to send me to the class. The class is $4,000. Now, keep in mind, I'm still struggling. I'm just paying bills. I had a business. I had my own shop. I was struggling. I could only pay bills.
You had the audacity to ask for help.
Absolutely. I asked both sides. I asked my mom's side and I asked my dad's side. And my mom was in charge of my mom's side. She called everybody on that side and asked them to donate. And my dad did the same thing on his side. And together they raised about $6,000. So they got me there. That paid for the class. And they paid for all of my supplies.
Oh my God.
And so I came back and I started doing it, and it was slow. And COVID came. And again, I'm still praying. Like, Lord, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, when COVID came, it was no hair doing. It was nothing. We were stuck in the house. So if I'm not doing hair, I'm not making money.
Right.
And so I was stuck in the house, and I would have a few clients here and there that would just cash out me $20 or $30 here. Like, hey, I know you're not working. Here's a little money. So one day I was just kind of sitting around, and I was like, God, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, nothing is happening. And so I got the word to run an ad. I used my last $50 to run an ad on Facebook. And I ran that ad and I sent it everywhere but Memphis. Everywhere but Memphis. And it blew up. So while I was in COVID, while I was sitting there in COVID and everybody was getting all that money, I was getting thousands of dollars every day in deposits, because I sent that ad out, because I knew everybody was sitting on their couch doing what? Scrolling through your phone, you eating while we was on lockdown. And you had all this unemployment coming in and all that money coming in. And so when I did that, all these deposits started coming in. And I was booked up 3 and 4 months at a time during COVID. While I was sitting there, I was getting thousands of dollars a day in deposits.
How did you decide what you were going to charge?
So when I first started, I'm one of those people, I came back and I didn't charge anything. I did all of my hair clients that wanted to do it for free.
Okay.
Because I knew that I was going to have to prove my work.
Right.
I was going to have to show. So I did theirs for free to bring in other people. It's like, oh, I want that. So I just charged them for their pictures. And so I did that. And I started with $250. After I started getting those people wanting to do it, I started at $250. And then I went up to like $375. And then it was slow. And then I went up to $500. And I didn't get anybody. And so after maybe about 2 months of not getting anybody, this was pre-COVID, without getting anybody, I decided, okay, my work is better than $300, but people in Memphis don't want to pay $5, so I'm gonna go in the middle. Okay. And I stayed at $415.
Wow, that's a wonderful story. Mm-hmm. So I do a lot of different things, and we had this conversation earlier. Sometimes when you're pivoting, you can't do all the things for all the people. And one of the things that I have struggled with is I can't see everybody. And I have to be able to tell some people no. And some people, like, when it comes to me not doing therapy at some point, like when I changed my schedule, I just don't want to be in the office at night. Yeah. I don't want to be there in the evening time. And I'm not a morning person either. So I can't be there at 9 or 10 o'clock. Yes. And so how did you manage shifting from one industry to a completely different industry and managing the clients? Because, okay, so let me say this. I remember when my hairstylist moved out of town. She was coming home 2 weekends a month. And I know that was taking a toll on her. Absolutely. But it took me a lifetime to find her. Yeah. And whatever she told me to do, that was what I did. Whatever she told me to pay, that was what I paid. And so when she started to say that she was getting tired and she couldn't do it anymore, I did kind of go into a little depression. Of course. That's how I ended up wearing like the faux locks. And that is also how I ended up just actually doing the real locks. Yeah. Because she moved. Yeah. But see, you was depressed because you was losing a friend, a therapist. She knew business that nobody else knew. She knew how your day went. She knew how to read you when you came in. She knew exactly what you needed, even if she had to give you an extra 5 minutes of that good shampoo. She knew exactly what you needed. Yes. You were breaking up with somebody. Yes, yeah. That's exactly what it was. Yes. But it was like it's not you, it's me type thing. Yeah. And now that you stated, I'm like having a brain fart. Yeah. It was a breakup. Yeah, you broke up with her. Y'all, she was like, I'm gonna move on. We were good, but all you gotta do what's best for you. Right. Still, exactly. It's not good for me. Right. So how did you handle your clients? Your hair clients? It was a struggle because you know how you don't want to break up with somebody? Yep. You really don't want to break up with, like, I really don't. I really like you as a person. I do. I really like what we have for each other, but I don't want this anymore. I'm going to have to find somebody else or do something else that makes me happy. Yeah. So I was in that position. So what I ended up doing was I found people that I thought would be good for them. Oh, that was good. So if I knew they had extensions. So he was a matchmaker. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, because I didn't want to hear what, you leaving? Like, what am I supposed to do? And I did get that. What am I supposed to do now? And I found you, and especially the new ones. The new ones were like, wait, I just found you. Like, don't leave now. I just found you. And so that's what I did. I tried to match them with people, with other stylists that I knew would be similar to me, with their professionalism, with, how they did their hair and, just personality. I think you and that person would be good together. So I actually did match. That was helpful. In the therapy world, we call it a warm handoff. Absolutely. That's what I did. Versus just saying, I don't know what you're gonna do. No. Yeah. Mm-mm. My old stylist, I still be stalking her. I be like, oh, I love her. Yeah. I miss her. Yeah. So how did you work through the mental process of, I want to, but I know this is not what I'm supposed to be doing? Well, should I could just kind of like fit them in the evening time. Okay, so the way I kind of handled that was I knew that I had asked God for something. I had asked God to retire me. And if you know the history of beauticians and beauty shops and stuff like that, we don't retire, we die out of this. Oh.
we die out of doing hair. Like all of a sudden your limbs start going bad, or like me, I developed occupational asthma from all of the aerosol cans and stuff like that.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Occupational asthma, which is I would spray all those aerosol cans, and back in the day that they Iso Plus changed their formula, and you would spray it, and all of a sudden be like, right? Yeah. And so that did something to me. Like I have carpal tunnel, all that type of stuff. Like all that stuff, doing hair, standing up, not wearing the right shoes, all of that stuff, it breaks you down, and then you die out of it because we don't have a retirement plan. You work to make the money for right now, unless you are super good or got something on the side.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that. I did not want to die out of this. So I asked God to please retire me. And so when he gave it to me in less than a year, I didn't want to be like, okay, God, yeah, you did give me what I wanted, but I really, this girl here need me. So I really didn't want you to do me that soon. I didn't want to do that. That's like a slap in the face. Like you asked for it and I gave it to you, but now you want to go back. So that's why it's a no. It's a no forever doing hair.
So I tagged the line Bougie Boundaries. And one of the reasons why I came up with Bougie Boundaries is because a lot of the clients that I see are entrepreneurs. They are the strong friend, the helper, the nurturer, the go-to for everybody. And when they get to the point of they have to come to therapy, it's because they are emotionally overwhelmed and mentally exhausted from taking care of everybody else and their stuff. And so I play this game sometimes with people like, whose shit is this? Because this isn't yours. Most of the people who come to therapy, a lot of their issues don't even belong to them.
Yeah, I can see that.
And we get so good at being like the go-to person to take care of stuff for people. And so learning how to have boundaries, which are desires and expectations for yourself, and then enforcing them with other people as entrepreneurs is tough because we decide that these are the work hours that work for me.
Right.
This is the schedule that I want. These are some of the things that I know I need to do. So in order for you to say yes to yourself, you got to say no to other people about stuff. How have you worked through being able to say no, even in the new realm that you're in? Because I know people are reaching out to you. Can you teach me? Or, can I have pick your brain for a little bit? And so now that they see you're doing well, how do you handle that?
Okay. So my boundaries are coming from a place where when I had my business, when I was doing hair, I felt like my clients ran my business. I felt like they would come in whenever they wanted to, even though they had an appointment. I felt like it was whatever they decided, it was me saying, okay, that's fine, which would push my schedule back or have me working until midnight or something like that. So now my policy is set the way it is because these are my rules. So my business is going to run the way I need it to. If I don't want to stay until 6, my last person needs to be there at 4:50, not 4:51. If it's 4:51, it's hey, let's go ahead and reschedule. We'll try it again another time. So those are my bougie boundaries.
And you be booked up. So
I am.
Another time might be a month and a half from now.
Absolutely. So that's the price. Because if it's not fair to you as the client that's going to be there at 4 o'clock, that my client before you comes in 15 to 30 minutes late and that push your appointment back to 5, that's inconsiderate. And then it's inconsiderate of me to still take that person and make you wait that extra 30 minutes. So my business has to run like clockwork. So my bougie boundaries won't let me, work with your time. You're going to have to work with the time that I've allotted for you. And that's why I feel like my business has to run like that, because back in the day, it ran on the clients. And I was always just kind of stuck and, like you said, trying to make everybody happy and all that stuff. And I wasn't happy. I was missing all these things that I could have been doing with my kids and, you know, being a wife and being at home or just not doing anything.
With your hairstyle business, like how did your family work around you not being able to manage your own schedule? Because people think that, you work for yourself, so you have a lot of free time. You can do whatever you want to, whenever you want to.
My family got used to it by not really doing the things that needed to be done. So if my kids wanted to be in sports and all that stuff, I would have to have somebody else to take them, or it was a lot of things that I had to miss because if I wasn't behind that chair, I wasn't making the money. So if I wanted my kids to, you know, live a certain way or us to live a certain way or have certain things, I had to be behind their chair in order to do it. And so they would kind of just either live without it or they didn't do it.
Oh, wow.
So it was a lot of times like they had to like just, okay, we can't do that. So that's another reason why I transitioned.
How is your rest now? Like your sleep, now that you decide what your schedule is?
My sleep is still crazy.
Is it?
My sleep is still crazy because I took on more responsibility.
Oh.
So hair is one thing. Like it's rare you're going to burn somebody's hair out. But when you're tattooing somebody's skin, that's going to be something that's going to be permanent.
The risk is higher.
Oh, I get nervous every single set. I am so nervous every single set. And the reason why is because like that mess up can be horrific for somebody, especially if they already have like issues, you know, image issues and stuff like that. So yeah, my sleep is, yeah.
Okay. Whoopsie.
Yeah, right. The money is awesome. The money is great, but it's like, oh, I almost messed those up.
Yeah. So if you look up the definition of entrepreneur, it literally says that you accept all of the risk. So to think that you're going to be in entrepreneurship and not have a high level of anxiety, this is not a business for you.
Absolutely not. No, it isn't. Because like you said, different levels, different devils. It's like now I'm dealing with the risk of, you know, trying to make sure that I don't mess anybody up because I have a reputation. Like I have people in surrounding areas, Memphis, like people, I love your work. I'm just waiting to get my money right so I can come to you. That's a lot to carry, right?
Yeah, it is.
And so when a new person comes in, like I want to meet your expectations. Like everything is set out for you to be perfect. I try to be the best professional person. Like everything is gonna go exactly the way you expect it to go because I'm a consumer as well.
Yeah.
Like I run my business the way I want to be treated, right? And so with all of that extra risk, it's risk of, you know, dealing with scams. It's risk of, you know, messing people up. It's risk of, you know, people not reading the policy or, you know, just it's a lot.
Yeah. One thing I've learned, though, that helps is messing up actually helps you get better at what your guidelines are for your business. Like for me, when I have couples come in, I have to remind them that your relationship is actually the client, not each person. And so when a couple comes in for therapy, or even like a family or just two people coming in to work on something, it's two individuals and you are developing insight and awareness about yourself. So coming to therapy is not going to fix your relationship.
Right.
It's going to give you insight and awareness so you can decide what to do next. But I didn't know that in the beginning.
Right.
So I was blamed for some people's relationships not working out. Like, we shouldn't have never went to therapy.
What?
She messed up what we had going on. And I'm like, but I ain't cheat.
Wait a minute.
doing?
Right. It was
Y'all
already
came here
screwed
with
up.
these
Yeah.
issues.
It was already screwed up.
It was.
I just made you realize how bad it was.
Correct.
Right.
And I sometimes I struggle with that, but I trust God for them. I trust God that however things are supposed to go, whatever comes up or whatever comes out, that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
But it has helped me do a better job at knowing what kind of things I need to say to people so that you can make the decision for yourself should you decide to come in here.
Right.
Because these are the things that could possibly happen.
Yes.
So I'm glad that you have figured that out too.
I have.
But people know that though. Like when we go to surgery, we know it's a 50% chance.
Absolutely, but they still don't expect for it to go bad. They don't expect that. But with mine, the way I look at the way I got good was I studied, right? So from the very first person that I did, which was my Aunt Jo, I love you. You did
Thank
it.
you, Aunt Jo.
Aunt Jo did it. Yes, because Aunt Jo took one for the team. Her brows were this big. She had to go without numbing. I didn't know how to use the numbing cream. So she took 4 hours of tattooing her face, and it was like crazy, right?
We love Aunt Jo.
Yeah, Aunt Jo, we love you. So what I end up doing to make sure that I got good was I studied each person. So from Aunt Jo on until now, I look back at my work the night before the night that I do the clients. I look at all those clients from that day and I study what I could have done different. And I make sure I do that on the next person. So that's how I end up getting pretty good at doing that, because I studied my own mistakes and made sure that on the next person, I didn't make that same mistake.
Oh, wow. Because you can't just show up just nilly-willy and hope that it's going to work out how it's supposed to.
No.
I kind of do the same thing with clients that I'm working with. I look and I read up on some of the things that they may be struggling with or some insight that I may be able to share or help them with. And I don't think that people really understand the value of I'm thinking about you before you actually get here.
Studying, yes.
I want to make this the best experience possible for you.
Absolutely.
So don't come in here and give me no shit, because
right, exactly. and even with my business, I tell them you are picking everything. You pick, from your experience, pick your brow, you pick everything. I don't tattoo anything that you don't say you like.
It was a great experience. I would not have assumed that you had any anxiousness. You appeared to be confident, knowledgeable. I didn't have
But would you have
nerves.
come to me if I was not confident? Would you have stayed if I was like, are you sure?
No.
Oh, let me do that over. You know what I'm saying? Would you have actually stayed?
No.
Exactly. So I have to like turn it on and turn it off. Like, whew, that went good.
Yeah. No, because that energy, I would be like, ugh.
Like, yeah, let me go ahead and leave. She doesn't look like she knows what she's doing. Yeah. So I just have to turn it on and turn it off.
How'd you build the confidence that you have?
The clients. Like, I had so many reviews, and it's a long story behind the don't haves, but I had so many awesome reviews and all that stuff on my Facebook page, and my clients all love it and all that. So I'm like, I must know what I'm doing, because they love it. It's not a one-time thing. It's like, no, I'm coming every year to get my brows touched up. Like, you can't move or do anything. Like, you are my girl for life.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I'm not accepting any more breakups.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, we gotta, something gonna happen. Something gonna happen if we break up. Right.
We will find out where you stay, and we will be sitting outside.
Something gonna happen if we break up about these brows.
So I'm a part of a mastermind, and one of the things that they are teaching is you cultivate a community to the point to where the community will enforce your rules and your guidelines. And not only that, but your community will take care of you. And I remember...
I knew you was going to bring that up. I knew you was going to bring it up.
But I don't remember what it was about, though.
It was about that girl and that was where the reviews came from. So remember the girl, she had paid her deposit for a class and her mom's deposit. And she told me that she was, I'm going to be there. That's going to fall on my anniversary, but but I'm going to be there. And so I was like, okay, so your deposit is going to go towards your everything you need for the class, food, supplies, everything. And so she came to me like 2 days before the class, and she was like, hey, I'm going to need my deposit back. Me and my mom not coming. So that was $600. And so I told her, no, you can't have your deposit back. That's non-refundable or whatever. So she went through her bank and got her money back out of my account.
Oh, she did?
Absolutely. And so I went to my bank and they told me it was nothing I could do about it. So I had lost 3 ways. She got her money back. I had already spent the money on the everything she needed. And it was 2 days before the class, which means I couldn't replace those seats. So I had lost 3 ways with this girl, right? And so once I made that, I made a post about it, and it went viral. And so she was on my page going in.
I was ready.
Yeah. You and everybody else, all
ready.
Those followers, you and everybody else was like, who is this?
Yeah, what we need to do.
Yeah, what's finna happen? And so I think I said something, and you was like, hey, don't do that. That's our job.
Got you.
Yeah. No, you don't get rowdy with her. Let us do that. That's our thing, right? But the Sagittarius in me was like, who? Okay, I'm gonna say this and I'll delete it. I'm gonna leave it up there for her to see it, and then I'll delete it.
Yeah, you did. I felt proud. At first I was like, this ain't my business, but I was like, hold on, wait. I feel like I want to fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a lot of girls. Like, clients was coming like, what's going on? Like, wait, who, where? We
will start a Facebook chat or Instagram chat where you just put in there whoever needs to be taken care of, and we got you.
Yes. Because all y'all be ready, like, what's going on? Like, who is this, and why did she say that, and what is going on? Like, where can we find her? Yeah. I
was ready.
Yeah. You and like 500 more girls was like, no, you ain't finna talk to my brow girl like that. Yeah.
So how did you work through that emotionally?
At the time, I had to delete the post because it had gotten to the point where those girls, it was younger girls, and that's why I had to take all of my reviews down. I had about 200 5-star reviews, nothing less than that. And 2 girls went on my reviews and was like, don't go to her. She is inconsiderate. She doesn't, consider anybody else's situation. She's all about money. So I had to take my review section down. And that was the only part that I was upset about. Like, I had to actually really, really work through that because I work with Facebook for them to take those down and Facebook drags. And I just went ahead and took my review section down. But I was really, really sad about that. I was so sad. So what I ended up doing with my entrepreneurial mind, I did a post. And I asked my clients to put their reviews in the comments of their post. And I got those same 200, 300 reviews on that post. So it was a win for that.
Yeah. But that also helped you decide how to move forward.
Absolutely.
With what your policies are.
Yes, I did.
Were you a teacher before then? Or was this your first time teaching?
I never, this is my first time teaching.
And who gave you permission to do that?
Myself.
I knew you was gonna say that. That's why
Me, myself, and I.
So, one of my affirmations that I have had to make sure that I focus on is I don't need permission. Some people feel like they need permission to start something. They need permission to start a business. They need permission to teach classes. They need permission to create a community and charge people for their time and their expertise.
Right.
So the fact that you had the audacity to give yourself permission.
Absolutely.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of me too. I'm proud of me too. Yes.
What would you say to somebody who is thinking about shifting from one industry to another?
Do it. You have to do it because if you stay in that box, you're going to continue to just live there. Like, you have to think outside of the box in order to get to the next level. You'll become complacent at that level you are. And if you do not transition, you're going to stay there. and always be trying to figure it out. But it's only thing is just to get outside of your comfort zone and move on.
That reminds me of life. Like when somebody has an issue and they just keep ruminating over the same issue over and over again. Okay, what you gonna do to move past that?
That's right.
And so challenging yourself to get outside of it and start doing other stuff because you don't know where it's going to take you.
That's right.
It reminds me of an analogy of the teddy bear.
The teddy bear. Okay.
Tell us about the teddy bear.
Okay, so the teddy bear, when I talked to my husband about not ever going back to do hair, I was telling him that me transitioning reminded me of this meme that I see. And the meme is about this, it's a little girl. She has a very small teddy bear, right? And Jesus is standing right there, and Jesus has this big, huge, fluffy teddy bear behind his back. It's the same exact teddy bear that the little girl is holding on to, and she's saying, why, Jesus? He's wanting her to give him the little teddy bear so he can give her the big teddy bear, which is the same exact thing. Just trust me and you'll get something bigger. And so that's what I had to do in order to get to the next level. I had to give up what I knew in order to get something better. And I had to trust that God had something behind his back that was going to be bigger and better than what I already knew. So I had to just trust it and give it up. Give up hair to give all of my time to what I love doing now.
Oh, wow. And you don't work as much as you used to?
No, I'm Wednesday through Saturday now.
Wow.
Instead of Sunday through Sunday.
Ooh, 7 days a week?
Yep.
Did you know what to do with yourself when you have those extra days?
I mean, my hair stays done now. My nails stay done now, because when I was 7 to 7, when I was 7 days a week, I didn't have time for myself. I didn't have time for children. I didn't have time for husband. I didn't have time for friends. I didn't have time for anything. And so now that I'm able to work the way I work now, I can fit in anything.
You're like, just tell me
whatever. Yeah, tell me what it is, and I'm gonna put it in my calendar.
So I have to make appointments also. And sometimes my sessions are 2 to 3 weeks out. So if I have friends or family who are like doing stuff and it's spontaneous or sporadic, I can't always do it because I already have a set schedule. Right. And what happened is I started end up being left out quite often.
Oh, yeah.
How do you manage that?
My friends are really good at knowing my schedule. Like back in the day, I started being left out with that Sunday to Sunday schedule. Yeah. I would get mad because they wouldn't ask me. But when they would ask me, either I can't go or I'm too tired to go. So I'm not gonna go anyway. It was years that I just didn't go. So they just stopped asking. They just stopped asking. But once I let them know, it hurts my feelings when you don't ask, even though I'm not going, which is crazy. Right? It's not. It's not. Like, I'm not going, but I would still want the invite. But now that they know my schedule, they kind of know, hey, put this in your calendar. We're going to do this, and I can actually be there. So I'm enjoying that. I
appreciate people who do that.
Yeah.
Like, let me know ahead of time, because I do want to come. Right. But I need time to try to figure it out.
Absolutely. Because my month is already booked up. Everything that I have to do is already booked. From hair, nails, regular appointments, concerts, anything with the kids or hubby, all that stuff is already planned. I can't fit anything in.
I showed my calendar to somebody a couple of days ago, and he was like, ooh. But whenever I show people my calendar, I show it to them to let them know that not only am I being intentional with my time, but I also want to be intentional with my relationships.
Absolutely.
I want to be intentional with people that I actually do want to spend time with. So I need to put it in my calendar and block out time, because you're that important to me.
You're important to me. Yeah.
I saw this guy on Facebook. He was saying, I don't like no calendar ass girls.
What?
I was like, what? He said, why you got to pull out your calendar and put me in your calendar? And I was thinking,
Chad, because I'm 43, I don't remember nothing.
I can't remember
First of all,
nothing. Yes, I said I'm gonna call you, but I forgot.
Right. I don't remember nothing at this age. I have to put regular stuff in my calendar.
Call
every day.
AT&T tomorrow at 9:00.
Yes.
I have to do that. And so, but also, I think when somebody puts me in their calendar, it makes me feel important.
Yes.
Because you are intentionally setting aside time in your day for me.
Yes.
So somebody who can't understand that, I can't even do life with them.
Right. Exactly. Because you're inconsiderate.
Very.
Yeah, you're inconsiderate.
I even put, like, I'm not doing nothing time on my calendar.
Absolutely.
Because that's important too.
It is. Self-care.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
I just got a new phone. I got a extra phone. I had it for months and I just didn't give the number out. So I sent a bunch of text messages to my important people, and I text them and I said, hey, here's my side number. If you have this number, you're important to me. And I got so many people that was like, oh my God, I did not know I was this important to you. And I was like, you people have to start telling you that you are important. You know, like we're losing so many people. So I make it my business to let my important people know, hey, I appreciate you. You are important to me. I love you. All that stuff. Like my friends probably like, is she finna leave here? Like, I just want you to know I love you. You know, I can tell you that.
That has become very important to me lately. We was talking about this earlier, having tough conversations with people because the magnitude of the relationship is that important. And I had a conversation with a friend a few weeks ago, and I was telling her I didn't realize that I was as important to her as I was, but it was really just because we never talked about it. We never had that conversation.
Exactly.
Having friendship breakups are worse than significant relationship breakups to me. Yeah. Because the level of closure is not there. And we're going based off of time and assumptions and not having tough conversations.
Yeah.
One of the things that I know that you have had to deal with lately is the loss of somebody important to you. How did you manage being a full-time entrepreneur and that?
Oh, that one was hard because my mom died in January. She died a day before her birthday from COVID. And
really?
She died from COVID. And it was hard because she had me in charge of everything. So not only was I a full-time wife, full-time mom, full-time business owner, I had to plan a funeral and plan it on, assumptions. I'm assuming that she would like this. I'm assuming that this would be, nice enough for her, making sure that she had everything. So it was pretty hard. I kind of threw myself into work. I threw myself into planning, and then after that I kind of sat back and had a little bit of grieving time. But it was extremely hard because people, I'm very, very not secretive but private. Yeah. And so, when you lose somebody that close, you have people coming out of the woodworks like, hey, I'm so sorry for you and this and that. You already having problems sleeping and dealing and all that stuff, and you have to put your own feelings aside. But I had problems with those. If there's anything I could do for you, anytime that I had put it in the back of my mind, I was always being reminded. So it was hard during that time. But like I said, I end up taking a vacation after, kind of focusing on me and my own mental. And it's still pretty hard. It really is, because you want to talk to that person. You want to call and all that stuff. Oh, my God. She was so proud of me. She would say it all the time. She really would. She was so proud. I really, really miss her. I really do.
Oh, wow. Were your clients considerate of you having to take time off?
All of them were.
Of course.
All of them were, because a lot of them, when I got the news, I had a full day. When I got the news that she had passed, I was at work and I had a client. And my client was like, stop what you're doing. Take this in. Like, you need to, be in the moment.
Yeah.
And she was like, you can do my brows another day. She was like, stop.
You will forever be connected to her.
I will. Yep. Because when she texts me and, asks me about myself, I'm like, I really love you, because it was that day that I needed somebody to help me process. Mm-hmm. Because at that point, it was kind of like, okay, I got to finish my day.
Yeah.
That was where my mind went. My mind didn't go to, girl, your mama just passed. My mind was, I got a client here. I need to finish her.
Yeah.
And so she was like, no, you need to go home.
I appreciate people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make you feel like you need to still step outside of yourself and care for other people.
Absolutely.
While you're in the midst of
she made me take care of myself. Mm-hmm. And my same aunt was there. So she was like, yeah, you got to go.
Yeah.
Aunt Jo, she was there. Aunt Jo, I love you.
We love Aunt Jo too.
Yes.
Aunt Jo paved the way for the rest of us.
She did. Yes.
We need to have a benefit, Jennifer.
I know. We got to look. Aunt Jo get all her brows free. Whatever you want, Aunt Jo. Whenever, yes, everything is free.
That's good. One more question. So you have an older kid and a high school kid. I like to tell people that each child gets a different parent. Mm-hmm. So they weren't parented by the same person.
Absolutely.
And so your older kid had to make a lot of sacrifices.
He did.
That your younger kid hasn't had to experience in some ways. Mm-hmm. Do they ever talk about that?
I talk about it more than they do. So I had a conversation with my oldest one, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was 21 when I had him. Mm-hmm. So we grew up together. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't know what was more important. And so he didn't have, like you said, the same parent that the youngest one had. So I had to apologize to him because I didn't know what I was doing. I was mimicking how I was raised. And I was doing some of the same things that I found out as an adult that wasn't, the best, but everybody was doing their best. And so my son is very nonchalant. Mm-hmm. So he's like, it's okay, Mom. It's fine.
Yeah.
So he was fine with it. But me, I'm just like, I ruined him.
Same. I apologize to Chelsea all the time. I'm like, Chelsea, I'm so sorry. I work 2 jobs most of your life.
Yes. I'm like,
because now she's a workaholic. And it's hard for her to pull back.
Yeah, she's mimicking
and
what
I'm just
raised
like, Dear
her.
Lord, can you help my baby?
Right, that's right.
Because I'm a workaholic, her dad is a workaholic, and like having balance is not even a real thing.
It's not.
It's really prioritizing. Mm-hmm. And things that are a priority are different based on where you are in life.
That's right.
And so I just pray that she goes to therapy.
That's what I was just going to say. When you go sit on the couch, please tell them I tried my best. Please.
I said my bad.
Right. Please tell them I tried my best.
I told her a couple of days ago, I said, Chelsea, I want you to be able to tell your story with whatever your childhood traumas are. Because I know you got some.
Yeah.
I gave you some.
Right.
I didn't know it.
Right.
But whatever they are, whatever you need to do, however you need to talk about it, don't feel like you need to accommodate me and my feelings for you to be able to get whatever it is that you need.
That's right.
And she was like, oh, it's okay. It's fine.
That's my son. I ask him all the time, what could I have done different? What could you couldn't have done anything different. And I'm like,
surely.
Oh, come on now. Are we witnessing the same exact childhood? Like I know what I did bad. Like I know what I did wrong. So, but he's, for the love of his mom, he's just like, Mom, you were good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, that's so good. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you would like to share with people who are in entrepreneurship, who are considering pivoting, or just in entrepreneurship, period? Any advice that you would give them?
The main thing that I would say is, like I said, just step out there and do it. Try not to overthink it. Don't listen to the naysayers. I had so many people that was telling me that's not good. You're so good at hair. Don't stop doing hair for anybody. Do the hair, can do what you do best. And if I would have listened to them, I wouldn't be where I am. So don't listen to the people that say you can't do it, or there's not a avenue here for that, or just try it. You don't know what will happen unless you give it a try. You know it's not going to happen if you don't try it at all.
Right.
You know what's going to happen.
100%.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
know.
Gonna work.
Yeah, you know exactly what's going to happen, but you don't know. You could be the next it person if you just give your idea a try. Yeah.
That's good. Thank you.
Yes.
How can we find you, and how can people get on your calendar?
On my calendar. Okay, so you can find me on Facebook on Ombre Brows Memphis. I have a booking link there. I'm actually having a sale, so if you put in July 23rd for the code on my website, you'll get $110 off.
Wait!
Ain't that nice?
That's
oh my
super nice.
God. Yeah. And so oh my God. And you can also find me on YouTube. I am Chiquita be knowing.
Yeah.
Cause she be knowing everything. I know everything. I know everything. So yeah. Chiquita be knowing on YouTube, and I'm Chiquita Smith-Sanders on Facebook.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I had so much fun.
Woo. Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Bougie Black Therapist Podcast, and we hope that you like, share, and subscribe. If we have said something that resonates with you, please feel free to comment, and I will personally respond to your comment. And that's it for Bougie Black Therapist Podcast. Till next time, see you.
Yay.